Oreo. Say hi, Ori. Hi, Ori. Look, this is Rahu Ketu. See? Rahu Ketu. He's two-toned dog. That's why you're coming up to me, huh? Because I'm talking about Rahu and Ketu. See? Say hello to Rahu Ketu. In a life form. In a life form. He's such a movie dog. He's such a movie dog. Right? Okay. So let's get started with our Rahu video.
So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Rahu entering in the Nakshatra of Shatabishka starting December 1st and how it's going to be affecting you guys. Okay? And as always, if you do not know if you have this particular position, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, along with all the astrological details, check out the links here, astrology.com, where you'll find my books, reports, consultations, and link to my academy, Maghavadi Astrology Academy, where especially I've uploaded the marriage timing technique, the best one, as the very last video under the blank chart prediction course, and including within a couple of weeks you'll see my marriage course become active, where we're going to go into depth. As much as you know, I've made so many videos in the last 2 months on marriage. We're going to go into depth and you're going to learn more techniques. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Now today, as I said, we're going to be talking about Rahu entering in the Shatabishka Nakshatra. Now you must be thinking, well, this is Rahu's Nakshatra, so I can easily understand what is going to happen. Well, actually, when it comes to Rahu, nobody can understand Rahu. Even the best of the best astrologer will somehow make a mistake on Rahu. Because it is an energy that is supposed to confuse. It is an energy that makes you feel lost. Okay? And remember, this is not Rahu entering in its own nakshatra. That is only understood in the scheme of Vimshotri Dasha system. Here, Rahu simply entering Shatabishka, which is a nakshatra truly controlled by Varuna, the god of the ocean. So now we have to understand from the depth of Varuna, not Rahu. Because you got to understand, wherever Rahu and Ketu are placed, this is where the confusion comes into play. One is always confused with that axis in their life. And this is why we call Rahu obsession. Wherever Rahu is, you're going to be obsessed about those things. Why? Because when you can't understand something, like you're looking at it, you're standing and you're looking at this alien object and you're obsessed with it. What is this object? It's kind of like Monolith from 2001 Space Odyssey, right? You're looking at it, you don't know what it is. What is it doing? That's what Rahu is. Throughout life, you're confused with the placement where Rahu is placed and you're perfecting that. And when Rahu and Ketu, wherever they're transiting, they're bringing about such a new experience that a person again feels confused about that, so they become obsessed about those things. They feel incomplete. Rahu and Ketu represents incompleteness, especially Ketu. Wherever Ketu is, something will be incomplete. But wherever Rahu is, you have that thing, but you still feel incomplete about it, and you only focus on perfecting that thing. That is the simplest way you can understand Rahu and Ketu energy. And now, Shatabishka, okay, yes, it's a nakshatra of 100 healers. It's a nakshatra of 1,000 healers. But it's also the nakshatra of sacrifice. It is a nakshatra where a person must protect their own energy from the influence of other people. That's what this nakshatra is. This nakshatra, what is the symbolism of this nakshatra? It's a circle, right? It's an empty circle. And what is this showing? That I have you in this empty circle. And this circle is a boundary like Saturn. This is why it's also occurring in the sign of Aquarius, which is naturally Mool Trikon sign of Saturn. So Varuna and Saturn are coming together in this particular sign. And what this shows is that a person must protect their knowledge, their boundary, their understanding of the cosmos. Because see, Shatabishka is a cosmic law. It's not man-made law. It is the cosmic law. It's what the universe is saying. This is how universe works. You want to go against it, you go ahead. You can create your own law. You may think, like as humans are saying, you can and nothing can go faster than the speed of light. And cosmos is like, okay, go ahead and make up your rule. But later down the line, within 200-300 years, we're going to understand actually you can go 100 times faster than the speed of light. It's like we're in the baby steps of physics and, engineering, and we're thinking we're the smartest person. So the cosmos ultimately is going to say there's an actual law. Like, for example, we are dead set on our religious beliefs. Don't eat meat, it's bad. Don't drink, it's bad. But that's just a man-made law. Cosmic law is something else. Cosmic law is saying something else. Okay? But see, why is Shatabhisha? What is Shatabhisha with Rahu? Rahu is complete expansion. Rahu is enormous vastness without the end. And Shatabhisha is the depth, the thing that you thought. Like when you go to a beach and you see the beach and you're relaxing, right? You're just relaxing, looking at the beach. You think it's just this small, thin blue line, which makes you feel good about yourself. Now, go wear your scuba gear or probably a very heavy equipped, submarine, and start going from that beach to the depth. And you will go to such depth, it will put fear inside you. So now what Rahu is going to be doing, and remember, Shatabhisha, especially, it's about spying, surveillance, understanding of knowledge that we didn't even know. We wanted to know. We were looking at the ocean, but we didn't know how deep it was. So now Rahu is going to take you to that vastness. Rahu is going to bring about secrets. Especially Aquarius is public. Public gets to understand secrets that they wanted to know but couldn't know before. But now Rahu is showing everything. Rahu's like, this is what I'm showing you the truth of. So whatever conspiracies, controversies that are happening around the world, Rahu begins to gather them and starts showing to the public that, hey, you wanted to know this? There. I just showed it to you. Okay? So that's one thing that Rahu does. On the other hand, Rahu's vastness, especially when it comes to health and wellness and nutrition, you're going to see many, many themes against the social norms of society begins to come out. Okay, and they begin to especially now come out because Saturn is in Pisces. Because the dispositor of Rahu is in Pisces, which is a vast space. Okay, it's bigger than the ocean. It is vast space. So now you will see the real secret of natural health, real secrets of natural remedies are truly going to begin to emerge. Whether it's online, whether it's in person, it's like you will feel like, oh my God, I have 100 healers at my disposal now. I have what I needed. We can finally understand the secret of curing this, curing that. Those things will begin to come out. You will also see, because Rahu is the front face of AI, many security breaches or tightening of security will begin to take place in the world. You will see the surveillance state that at least I hate it. I don't like it. I don't want to be surveillanced all the time. I want to feel like a human in its own privacy. Well, you might be saying goodbye to that. Because here the surveillance state, the real process of surveillance state around the world will begin to come out when Rahu enters Shatabhisha and is in Shatabhisha till I think around May or June. I have to check, but it's going to be there for a while. Okay, so like for example, how you see Palantir is trying to take every single data. I mean, whatever data they need from you, they have it, or they're collecting it. And from there, they're going to build some new AI system. So privacy is just going to be like a novelty. They'll be like, really? Back in your time, there was privacy? Oh, okay. And the new generation just gets used to it. Like, oh yeah, this is the world that I'm born in. Okay, that's what they always do. They always like to affect things now, so the new generations is already used to it. We never paid taxes before, especially in US, but only after World War I, Were taxes required temporarily and they became permanent? Okay, now, and when I came to US, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a natural thing to just pay taxes. Where nobody owed taxes, nobody had property taxes, nothing. You owned your property. This is what the job of Rahu is. It keeps you deeper and deeper into that surveillance state and tightening the boundary. But another thing that Rahu will activate here. This is going to be the start of people creating small communities of themselves, then to intermingle liberally with everybody. People, you will see, because there's now a guard, now there's this boundary around the vastness, right? Because Rahu's coming inside this circle. So people are going to create their own vast circle. A lot of communities will start to come closer to one another and not wanting to interact with one another. Because people will realize we need to preserve our culture, our way of living, our way of society. Okay, so these manifestation you will hear and you will see during this period of Rahu in Shatabishak Nakshatra. And then the other thing with Shatabishak is a lot of themes, naturally intoxication themes will play out a lot in this period. But especially it doesn't have to be intoxication related to alcohol. You will find a lot of like intoxication even through AI. Addictions of AI becomes active. Or intoxication with God realization. You will hear a lot of themes about that. You may even hear about some medicine that was unknown this whole time. And it can take you towards that God realization, like DMT or ayahuasca. You will see around the world, people will begin to try these things. See, it's about intoxication of something. You could be intoxicated with your ability to make something, like, for example, you're working on a kayak. You're intoxicated with that journey of making that kayak. So Rahu is, whatever you do, wherever Rahu is placed in your chart, you become intoxicated in that area. 9th house, you becoming intoxicated with your higher studies, your postgrad education, your religious studies. Rahu is in the 8th house. You become intoxicated with occult knowledge, research, tantra, hidden knowledge, right? Those obsession comes into play. Because Rahu, obviously, you will see, if you have Rahu in the 8th house naturally in your birth chart, throughout life you have been attracted towards tantra, obsessively wanting to get siddhis. So Rahu in the 8th house in Shatabishak, if one is practicing, they can actually attain certain siddhis here. They can be intoxicated with divine siddhis. Okay, then the other thing you will see with Rahu in Shatabishak, Rahu is not Vaman Avatar. Who's the boar saved the earth? I forgot the name. But see, Rahu is all about saving the environment, saving the earth. Rahu is not like what you think, like because again, these energies will never let you know who they are. You want to see Rahu as this mafia boss, drugs and this and that, but actually Rahu, remember, was the one that caught the mischief of the gods. Okay, Rahu is the one who caught the mischief of the gods, that we're supposed to get the nectar and nobody's giving us the nectar. Okay, let's see about that. So he became a disguised individual. Okay, so this shows that Rahu stands up for the clans, stands up for the truth. I don't care you like it or not, truth. And what we have concept of gods and asuras, we should just leave it alone. Let that be. Don't try to understand God as good and asuras as bad. However, if you see that when Rahu is in Shatabishak, a lot of people will stand up for their community. They're like, no, you can't do this. This is our culture. This is our religion. You will not ruin our generational natural process. A lot of these themes will be playing out. And because of Rahu's desire to save Earth, you will see many technologies related to environment or conserving the environment finally begin to actually manifest. I know we have been hearing about that for the past 10, 15 years. When Rahu enters Shatabishka, they actually begin to implement, especially cleaning of the ocean. You would hear technologies related to that are now cleaning the ocean and rivers and all the gunk in there. Okay? And the other thing you see with Rahu, or especially with Shatabishka Nakshatra, it's time consumption. Time. It is Kal, Shatabishka. And it shows I'm going to consume everything and everyone. I'm going to consume you. I'm going to consume this river that is here, this lake. I'm going to consume these trees that you see here. I'll consume everything. Nothing survives. So what happens is when Rahu is in Shatabishka, and this is where we see the intoxication. What happens with intoxication? You get consumed into a consciousness level that is of not yours. You are hypnotized. You remember a lot of hypnotists I've seen with Shatabishka Nakshatra. Astrologers you will see with Shatabishka Nakshatra. So when Rahu has entered this nakshatra, the themes of being consumed by something begins to become active. Like if you thought there's going to be, there's consumption of social media now, Rahu Shatabishka accelerates that through some events. Where now it's just going to be everything and everywhere, and especially young kids will get deep consumption of whatever is intoxicating them. You might hear some AI vibrational music or theme that comes out, kind of like the Matrix, where if you listen to it, you'll feel the intoxicated high. You don't know. And then maybe they'll have to pass a law that if you hear this, if you listen to this or own this vibrational theme, it's like owning a drug and it's against the law. Things like that will manifest. Now, what is one way that you can understand this Rahu, where through my concept? You can watch 2 of these videos here. So if your original Rahu is in the 3rd house in your birth chart and is transiting in the 12th house, what's going to happen is you're going to be dealing with expense related to travel and communication. So what you can do is you can go through my 2 of these videos. So if your Rahu is in the 5th house, watch that. And then relate that with the Rahu, let's say, is in the 12th house. Expense connected with children and things that are going to be happening with children. Or your education or your learning. So this is a more basic way that I'm just telling you how you can actually get to the more accurate level of this Rahu. Okay? Now, on the other hand, when I'm talking about Rahu and Ketu, in your houses, we cannot find the complete picture of this until I know where your birth Rahu is. This is why when I'm doing my transit consultations of Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, when I say something, I'm actually paying attention to where the birth Rahu is, where the birth Jupiter is, Saturn is, Ketu is, because this is it's a very deep and the most simplest technique of even Nadi, Nandi Nadi. You have to see the birth Rahu, and whichever house that birth Rahu is in, it is going to bring that effect now for 18 months into the house that is transiting. And of course, now we're talking about specifically the nakshatra. Right? For example, Rahu is in the 11th house in your birth chart. Rahu is sitting in the ascendant now in Aquarius till next August. So it is going to bring about, especially when it's in Shatabishka Nakshatra, lot of opportunities to meet people from a large organization. You're going to be attending a lot of conferences. Okay? Rahu will gain through friends. Rahu will gain through social connections. Rahu is going to bring about recognition and ability to gain things through strategy by help of either elder sibling, uncle, or your
social circles, network circles, somebody will come up with an opportunity for you. So you see how I'm using that Rahu to make these simple predictions related to Rahu in the ascendant. But if let's say we were to just simply look at Rahu in the ascendant, in the Nakshatra of Shatabishka, this person you will see begin to start surveillancing their life. They are focused on wanting to know everything and anything that is happening around them. You will see many people with this will put either reinstall new security system. Okay, especially let's say right now Mercury is retrograde with Mars. So what happens is, I don't think Mercury is going to be retrograde by the time it goes into Shatabishka, but mostly you can see next year when Mercury goes retrograde, their cameras will fill, they'll get more advanced cameras. Actually, it's so crazy. I was looking into a new security system and camera here for my cabin, this farmhouse, as you call it in India. Okay. And it's so funny. Why did my brain started thinking just 2 days ago, hey, I need to update this security system here? Because apparently the Rahu's resonance is coming into the Nakshatra of Shatabishka. And during this time period, you will see with Rahu transiting the ascendant of a person, they will have many changes in their dietary preferences. They will try to heal themselves through 100 different diets. Usually a person will use things like ashwagandha or multivitamins, because why? A multivitamin will have many, many vitamins in one capsule. Right? Right, Oreo? So that's what it does. So you will use something which has multiple things of healing qualities to heal you with Rahu in the ascendant. And your entire focus is right now is me. How do I gain things? How do I get this? How do I need, why I always need this? One naturally will make a disguise. Rahu in the ascendant in Shatabishka, many people will now change their appearances. They will start, if they have brunette hair, they'll suddenly make it bleach blonde. They will use disguise. They will wear sunglasses a lot. They'll wear hats a lot. Because they don't want to be recognized. Like actually Rahu in the ascendant in Shatabishka, sudden change in personality of a person comes in. Because they do not want to show people who they are. Because remember, what is Rahu? Rahu is the one who sat amongst the gods, disguised. So such people are gonna desire to disguise themselves from the world. As much as you think Rahu wants to get attention and get fame, actually they will try to get attention by disguising their real identity, real personality. Many people, will go behind the scenes and trying to present something bigger to the world. Because especially now everybody's on social media. Okay? Rahu in the first house, you will also see that these people will take a lot of vows. You will make a vow in this Rahu in Shatabishka. Like that's it. I am not going to, let's say, make love to my spouse until I've gotten a promotion from my bosses and authorities. Or until my business takes off, I will not eat my favorite food. These are more penances, right? Penances and vows are pretty much the same thing. So whenever Rahu is in the first house, one will be able to focus on making a vow. And on the other hand, there was one other thing with Rahu in the first house that I wanted to add. It was actually quite important. If I figure it out, I will add it. If I figure it out, I will add it. Now, if let's say Rahu goes into your second house in Shatabishka Nakshatra. So again, I don't know where your original Rahu is, but here Rahu will start making you look into 100 different solutions to increase your income and money. 100 different ways to start increasing and investing in your money. Okay, Rahu within the second house, this is the person that feels like I must now show my face. Like his, you see his big face? Like I must now show my face in order for me to gain my wealth. Rahu is going to try to connect with people in a large conference, large gatherings, so they can gain some opportunities and resources to for their money, for their wealth. Rahu is going to start secretly looking into other people's techniques, other people's ideas, secretly looking into how this person is doing this thing so I can get that money. So you see how this person is doing this thing to make that money and to gain that money. That's what the Shatabhisha Rahu will do. Especially because it represents the dietary aspect of this Rahu. With Shatabhisha Nakshatra, you will see that they will begin to consume a lot of like seafoods. A lot of like foods from the ocean, fishes, seafood. You will also see many people with Rahu and Shatabhisha Nakshatra will actually bring in a fish aquarium in their home. And if you're going to do that, put it either in west or north direction of your home. Like a west wall, okay, in the west section or the north section of your home. But also with Rahu, one will have to protect themselves from the influence of the family, because there could, now again, I don't know where your Rahu is, where you could be wrongly influenced by the family and their ideas. So now, because Rahu is in a circle, you have to protect yourself from the influence that you're dealing with and that you're having. One has to protect themselves from influence of bad financial advices, trying to do some scam towards someone else or being caught up in the scam. You have to protect with the noise that you hear around you. With Rahu in the second, in the Shatabhisha Nakshatra. Okay? Because here you can find ocean of information to start helping you to get more money. Is it going to happen or not? I have to see your chart for that. At the same time, Rahu goes into the third house. Okay? Or Rahu is in your third house in Aquarius. That means your Sagittarius ascendant. It's coming into the nakshatra of Shatabhisha. So here a person you will see they will start consuming a lot of, because remember it's about consumption, it's about control, it's about intoxication. Okay? One gets consumed by online content. One gets consumed by and will make AI content a lot. Rahu in Shatabhisha, this person will begin to get information which is hidden and secretive in their life. They will begin to attain a lot of eavesdropping on their neighbors and siblings. But this is very good for people, let's say, who are in fields of investigation, detective, lawyer, right? Because they have to seek information that can be helpful for the client. So here they will use certain ways, or naturally Rahu will bring in certain people, certain information that was hidden in plain sight with Rahu and Shatabhisha. On the other hand, such people will try to make secret travels, hidden travels. And this is not obviously this is not going to be the best period for your siblings' marriages. Okay. They naturally will try to become kind of like enclosed into their own life and not wanting to be influenced or deal with the spouse. Same thing actually happens with the ascendant Rahu and Shatabhisha as well. One closes themselves off with their spouse. I should actually add that into the Shatabhisha scheme for the first house. So now Rahu is in your fourth house in Aquarius in Shatabhisha Nakshatra. Number one thing I'm going to tell you, what these people are going to do, they're going to look for 100 healers related to home. Meaning you're going to be contacting many Vastu consultants, and that's going to be your biggest mistake. If Rahu is transiting the 4th house, you do not want to bring a Vastu consultant in your home and breaking things for Vastu, because this can have a reverse and negative effect. Okay, so do not do anything concerning Vastu. Also with Rahu in the 4th house in Aquarius, especially Shatabishka Nakshatra, and again I don't know where your birth Rahu is, because that's what really is going to add the best element. But especially here it shows that a person is going to try to find 100 ways to entertain themselves within the home. Person is going to look for, especially if you're trying to purchase a property, you're going to have to look for either many agents to show you the right property, or you're going to have to look at more property than anybody else to find the right property for yourself. One will also put CCTV cameras around the home. Many people you will see they'll put new fences up around the home. They will put new boundaries around the home. Why? Because again, what did I say about Shatabishka? It's about protection. It's about protecting what you are versus from the influence of the outside. So this is why Rahu in the 4th house and Shatabishka Nakshatra, people will no longer invite so many people within the home. But when Rahu wants to do something, for example, Rahu is originally in the 11th house in your birth chart. Guess what's going to happen? You are going to be forced to invite people and have big parties or gatherings in your home, because it's actually going to bring you gains. You're going to get gains through a large organized event within your home. If it's in the 8th house, suddenly it will happen. Okay, and also with Rahu in the 4th house and Shatabishka, one has to pay attention to the pipes within the home, plumbings within the home, especially if you're the householder. If you're just under your parents, it may not be affecting you so much. You have to have the property under your name, you have to have the lease under your name. Okay, you have to be contributing towards that property. But again, if you do have Rahu in the 4th house, even if let's say you're 15-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid, yes, it will bring about some issues. You will see, like somehow parents will have to change the sink area, change the toilet seat, change something. Now, if something is broken in your home, of course you have to change it. You have a broken toilet, yes, you should change it. It's not like that is part of Vastu. No, it's your everyday need, so of course change that. But if you're going to do anything with the Vastu itself, that you have to wait till Rahu leaves the sign of Aquarius. Actually, especially Shatabishka Nakshatra. Because it's going to make you not do one thing, it's going to make you do that thing 100 times related to healing. Mother will look for many solutions for either her health or finding solution for our own home. Okay. Many people will take vows. A vow is becoming very important here with Rahu within the home, especially in one sanctuary, one spiritual sanctuary. Like people will do many spiritual things and spiritual vows they will take. Now, if Rahu is transiting the 5th house in Shatabishka Nakshatra, okay, first of all, you will see these people, they will say, I know everything. I don't need you to teach me anything. I have 100 different types of skills and knowledges with me. Is that true or not? Again, that's very subjective. You don't know if you're talking to a 70-year-old who has tremendous amount of experience or 20-year-old just trying to show off, right? So you have to look at things subjectively with a grain of salt. But also what happens is here, a person will find 100 different ways to understand their subject of studying. Which is what? You will see with Rahu and Shatabishka, so many students worldwide will not just use ChatGPT for their education. They'll use new forms of AI that is going to be very difficult to detect if it's by AI or by a human. Okay. So you're going to find solutions, 100 solutions. Naturally, many parents with Rahu in the 5th house will make sure to spy on their children. They will put apps connected to spying, surveillancing. Many students or people who are having combination of spirituality. Let's say, for example, Rahu is in your 9th house. And let's say it's also with Jupiter or Venus. Actually, Jupiter or Venus, and none of them are retrograde. Let's say, and then this Rahu is transiting the 5th house. And I'm giving an example, although this example will fit mostly all Rahu. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be very neutral here. That a person will do a penance and take a vow towards doing some mantra, studying something that they know they haven't been able to study, but they're gonna be like, I'm gonna do whatever I can, and I'm until I finish this book, I will not go and play with my friends, or I will not go and date people. It's gonna be these weird penances because this is the thing connected with vows. Okay. Usually with Rahu in the 5th house in Shatabishka Nakshatra, a person will take a vow towards their diet. That I will no longer eat fatty foods, high carb foods. I will no longer eat junk foods. Or it could happen in reverse, where a person who had a perfect diet suddenly finds themselves having 100 different types of junk foods, 100 different types of variety of foods. And you will see with this Rahu in the 5th house, one will be given secrets. Somebody will tell you some secret and you'll have to keep it. And actually this Rahu in Shatabishak, while it's in Shatabishak transiting your 5th house, you'll be very good at keeping that secret. You don't know what it'll do in Dhanishta. Okay? But Rahu Ketu, or especially Rahu, comes across many secrets, learns many secrets. Especially like either by a teacher, as a student they will learn something, through books they will learn something, a lot of secrets. Especially you will see Rahu in the 5th house in Aquarius, in Shatabishak. Many people will join many astrological courses. Like they want to learn some hidden deeper secrets about things. So hopefully you will join my marriage course that's going to become active in first week of December. And also Rahu in 5th house in Shatabishak Nakshatra, those who are trying to go for IVF. And actually I remember doing this consultation 4 days ago, because I realized that Rahu is coming in Shatabishak Nakshatra, Jupiter Saturn transit, and Dasha is giving a perfect solution for children. And I'm like, set up your IVF. While I don't know what time I gave them, but I saw Rahu coming in Shatabishak Nakshatra, which shows the solution through new technology for having children. So if you're going for IVF, this and hope, and again, I can't say if this Rahu is going to be good in Shatabishak for IVF, because you obviously have to see Jupiter and Saturn transit. Okay, you want to make sure that you don't waste your money on IVF. It's a very sensitive and delicate thing to see when is the right perfect time period to do the IVF. Let's discuss Rahu in the 6th house. So if you have Rahu in the 6th house transiting in the sign of Aquarius in Shatabishak Nakshatra, obviously a person will look for 100 solutions to get rid of their enemies, dealing with their debts, dealing with their health. Okay? The other thing, depending upon how Rahu is in your own birth chart, you can invite 100 enemies in your life that you're going to be dealing with. Okay? So this is something you want to be aware of. Okay? Because certain positions of Rahu, because see, Rahu in the 6th house, it loves people to come, mess with me. Let's do it. Like these are the people that thrive on competition and fights. They love fights, they love enemies. So whenever the enemy is there, they feel like they're in heaven. 6th house, Shatabishak, okay, will show that a person will hear a lot of gossip at work, or they could spread gossip at work. They will love talking about other people and love to, and especially in a very sneaky manner. You want to also be aware with Rahu in the 6th house in Shatabishak Nakshatra transiting from December 1st is that your office will implement some spying technology. So if let's say you don't want to be surveillance, or if you know that you waste time on your computer and all of that, there's going to be something new that is going to be implemented related to them spying on you, or they will begin to spy on you during this time. So you might not want to, take that chance of doing something other than your work. Rahu in the 6th house will naturally show that a person will begin to get offers, like 100 different offers for loans and debts, credit cards. And let's say, for example, if one's Rahu is in the 12th house in the birth chart and Rahu is in the 6th house transiting, you can put yourself in big expenses, issues of big expenses through debts. So you don't want to do that. Rahu in the 6th house, you will also see that somehow if you're, let's say, living with your parents, okay, you will see neighbor will install some big fence, or neighbor will install and start to build something new. Also, on the other hand, you will see your maternal aunts and uncles. You will find out later on that they were in foreign lands or they were in some faraway place, but they kept it quiet. They never really told anybody about it. Yes, during this time period, your maternal aunts and uncles will also have quite a bit of fights and disputes and issues in their life. But you want to see where Rahu is placed. Especially if it's Rahu is in the 3rd, 6th, 8th, or 12th in their birth chart, it is definitely going to cause that particular issue. And again, check for it by February, March, and find out, if you can, what's going on, although it's very hard to find out what's happening in your maternal aunts and uncle's life. Okay. Rahu will also show that foreign opportunities, lot of your luck will rise during this time period when you connect with people in a foreign conference, foreign gatherings. So if you have, let's say you're in India, but some foreign gathering is happening in Singapore, when you go there, it'll start to bring you luck related to your profession and career. Okay. You will also see business. If you're in business, this is the time you're going to make a lot of money. If everything is set, and again, this is why I have to look at your chart. I can't really say, but it can. You will notice that your clients, even they may not spend money on you, but they'll talk about, I need to get this now. They're willing to spend big money. Clients will be able to spend big money on any product, especially meaning your product. So this is the time from December 1 onwards. Do the best marketing, do the best way of dealing with the clients, because their wallet is open. They're willing to just shed everything to give it to you. And this is also the period, like you will see if your children, if you're like in your 60s, 70s, your children will get foreign opportunities, children will get big money, but also children can also get scammed. Make sure you tell your children that don't go into any financial schemes, don't purchase anything that you just saw once online and you never heard of this person before. You want to be careful of investing money with such people. This is also the period you will see father is going to deal with lot of duality in his profession and work. He will implement, like, either his job, or if he has a business, he will implement many things. Some of them which will be useless, only few will be useful. So that's something you may want to let your father know, is that if he, like, especially with Rahu in the 6th house, father is going to try to find many consultants to help him with his business. Like, he'll try to look for solution from many different ways, but he shouldn't implement all those solutions. The solution that he goes, like, for example, if he goes to any odd number of solution, 3rd person, 7th person, 9th person, 11th person, especially the 11th person that they go to for some solution, that's the person that will work out for this, for your father, related to his career. Now let's talk about Rahu transiting the 7th house. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, well, not ladies and gentlemen, I'm not starting a new video. So, let's do Rahu in the 7th house in Shatabishak Nakshatra transiting, right? So, if you are a Leo ascendant, Rahu's in the 7th house in Shatabishak Nakshatra. So, first thing you will see, single people, especially if you have to be in the right age or in the right culture and environment, okay? Like, let's say if there's a country where kids marry at the age of 15, then this would be valid. If you're in a country where you can only get married after the age of 50, yes, it's going to be valid. Okay? But you will see that 100 options become active for the person. For relationship, for love, for opportunities, even especially for career and work, many opportunities will become active. You will especially see during this time period, a person who is married will look for 100 solutions to deal with the problems of the marriage, problems of the business. Okay? Because what happens is, Rahu does not like to handle the problems of the 7th house. And what happens in this case, Rahu begins to find itself in a state of intoxication. Like if there's too many problems within the marriage, a person could find themselves drinking a lot, could find themselves dealing with escapism. Escapism becomes a very strong part of this theme because the person's confused. With Rahu transiting the 7th house, a person for these 18 months doesn't know how, where, and why I should be. What should I be doing in a marriage to please the spouse? What should I be doing within the relationship? Now, the only way this works well is a person when they're dating many people. That is, Rahu works well in there, in that particular scheme. But in the scheme of commitment, this is where Rahu begins to fail, and especially because Shatabishak, you will see, when Rahu enters Shatabishak, the spouse becomes very private. They enclose themselves from you. Because of whatever has been going on with Rahu and Purva Bhadrapada in the 7th house, they're going to enclose themselves. They're not going to no longer share the information that they would like to share with you. And during this time period, your spouse, okay, you will see they will begin to go towards meeting other people, dealing with other people. They would rather be hanging out with the friends than with you if there are problems happening. But like I said always, I want to see the Rahu of the birth chart. How that Rahu of the birth chart is. Now, especially also, if Ketu is in the 7th house, and this is why I say these videos only may be correct to a certain percentage, because if let's say you have Ketu in the 7th house, Rahu is in this now transiting the 7th house, this is a best time period for the person to meet their past life soulmate, to get the marriage, to heal the marriage, to have the best time. Why? Because Rahu and Ketu are coming together. The head and the body are coming together. When they're one, they can achieve anything and everything that they want. Okay? So so this is why it's important to see what planet and how Rahu is placed. But yeah, on a majority of the schemes, a person is just confused. They're like, they feel drunk when they have to deal with the things of the 7th house. And especially right now, you will also see that one of the solutions for issues of the marriage is to travel to a foreign place, and especially near the ocean. Go travel 300 miles to 1,000 miles away from your home, especially if it has an ocean. Go there. It will begin to heal. Okay, also during this time period, you will see many proposals come online. However, if you don't have combinations in your chart to meet somebody through online proposals, then they do not, then they do not suffice. They do not come to a fruition. because you're supposed to meet somebody in person instead of online. But you will see many, and especially now that the world is all over, only in internet and social media, you are going to have to deal with that. But ultimately, if you're supposed to meet somebody in person, you will meet that person in person. And also, in order to improve your marriage during this time, take a vow. That, let's say, for example, you love eating butter chicken. So I will not eat butter chicken until my wife says this or my husband says this to me. Like, wow, I love you, or I'm so thankful you're with me. When you start making these type of vows, you're going to see that Shatabishka begins to come alive. Also, within the concept of relationship and marriage, you need to draw a circle. You need to be protective of your space. Do not let others control you. Don't just become submissive because you want to be with this person, because you feel like I don't want to get rid of this person. No, if they're trying to invade your space and making you do something against your rules, your own cosmic rules, then that is a Rahu that is going to be acting negatively. A person who leaves you in your space and respects that particular circle and space, that's the right person for this Rahu. That means Rahu is working positively within the 7th house for you guys. So Rahu then is in your 8th house, transiting in the Nakshatra of Shatabishka. And did you notice that you have never followed astrology before, occult before, mysticism before, but now suddenly you are diving into this mystery of this mystical super science, not just science, super science, higher than physics, higher than mathematics, higher than geometry. Why? Because Rahu is now invoking this particular interest within you. Rahu is saying, I'm taking you down into the ocean. However, in the beginning of this year, or last year when I entered, I simply wanted to break things down for you. I wanted to break the belief system that you've had. I wanted to bring down your decision making in the marriage. What you wanted wouldn't happen, and that tower would crumble because the spouse will get the upper hand, because 8th house is the married life. One will naturally be feeling uneasy. Why? Because one has to deal with sudden surprised expenses. With Rahu being in Purva Bhadrapada since last year, now that it has entered Shatabishka, or will enter Shatabishka by December 1st, now it shows, let me take you down into the deepest ocean of occult, mysticism, sadhana, research, penances, because 8th house is also penances. So you will see naturally, if you were never interested in occult, it's going to bring you into this. It may not be doing the same for somebody who has Rahu in the 11th or 3rd house. They won't care. They won't, occult and astrology. They may still hate it. However, because you have this Rahu in the 8th house, you're going to find this obsession with it. You will see many people with Rahu in the 8th house will take on tantric mantras. For example, like how I give my unique mantra reading on my website, which is very specific to certain people. Okay, and it's something that I don't want people to just know about. I just give you the mantra. I don't tell you what it is. I don't tell you why I'm giving this, which zodiac sign, which planet that is concerning. I give it to you. So many people, and it's so crazy, just from the last a week and a half or two, I have done so many of unique mantra reading. Because again, Rahu is already showing its resonance. And mostly I've seen people with Rahu in the 8th house, Rahu in the 12th house, Ketu in the 5th house, Rahu in the 9th house will get these readings. Mostly. The other thing with Rahu in the 8th house in Shatabishka Nakshatra, you will see that you will take certain precautions related to dealing with protecting your security, your assets. Like a lot of people will, let's say, deal with opening, let's say, what do you call, oh my God, I'm losing my words. Like a living trust, irrevocable trust, right? Oh, Wyoming trust, as you call it. People will look into that. And especially you will see with Rahu in the 8th house, such people attain some secret investment techniques. Some certain things that most people will not know, they get to find out. Like, for example, back in 2010, imagine if you came across Bitcoins and you got 5,000 Bitcoins for $5. Right? Those type of things. So Rahu can bring you across such type of schemes to gain some hidden secrets into investing information, because 8th house is speculation. And of course, you can even enhance this with certain mantras, certain tantric practices or rituals. But I don't want to dive into those rituals and practices. Okay, neither I'm qualified to talk about those things. It's only somebody who's qualified should be talking about those things. 8th house person usually feels, with transiting Rahu, confused about their self-realization, self-worth, including in-laws. During this time period, one doesn't feel, one feels like, what am I supposed to do with in-laws or dealing with the in-laws? One feels even confused about, like you will see, Rahu naturally in the 8th house, a person feels like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing things like occult and mysticism and astrology? You know, the more I get to know, the more I feel like a child. And here you are now, you're diving even deeper into the ocean. You thought just this first 10 minutes of diving into the ocean was deep enough and you couldn't understand. And now, this Rahu in Shatabhisha will take you in such deeper complexities that literally it can open up a new dimension for you. Whether even if you're in a scientific research. Whether even if you're in a scientific research, you will understand things that you have never understood before, because dispositor of Rahu is in the sign of Pisces, in 9th house of higher knowledge. So this is now the time period where you're gonna see the acceleration of being bombarded with information of secrecy that is going to be even more burdensome than before. Like, you'll be like, I thought just basic astrology was difficult, and here's this new thing, oh my God. And then from that, what it does, it settles you down and makes you one of the Ashtavasus, meaning 8 special people who gain such knowledge that they become like a special person. That happens when Rahu goes into Dhanishta Nakshatra. So the Ashtavashu energy has to come after Shatabhisha for Rahu. So you have to dive into the ocean, see that pearl, get that pearl, and when you come out, you are the Ashtavashu. So now let's talk about Rahu in the 9th house. So Rahu is now transiting in your 9th house in Shatabhisha Nakshatra, which means you're a Gemini ascendant. Okay. Here, first thing you will see 100 different desire to attain higher knowledge becomes active. Like, one desires to have this, learn that. You will see, you will suddenly come across opportunities to have many mentors, many teachers, many counselors. You know how? Because you will probably be attending some conference, especially spiritual conference, religious conference. And this is where what happens is, because Rahu is multiplicity. Okay? Rahu represents multiplicity. Aquarius is naturally a sign of dual nature, duality. You will see such people feel like First of all, they feel confused in Shatabishak Nakshatra side. They're like, what god should I follow? What goddesses should I follow? Look at all these options I have. I have now this mantra, this sadhana, this meditation. This can take you here. So, and what happens is Rahu is now bombarding because it's multiplicity. It's giving you multiple opportunities to deal with all kinds of different knowledges. But the thing is, usually a Gemini person who is naturally a person of dual nature and duality is able to handle many, many knowledges and many, many mentors in life. You will see, like, for example, let's say you're an astrologer, you will come across many astrologers who will teach you something. So it's not just one person you will say like, oh yeah, this is the mentor. You can have many people. Or what happens is you meet one astrologer who teaches you 10 to 15 different subjects and 10 to different forms of arts. Like there's Solak Alliance, right? 16 forms of arts. So there's 16 forms of arts in astrology as well. I mean, look, just there's the Gemini astrology, Vedic astrology, Nadi astrology. There's Prashna Marga. There's Horary astrology. KP. Okay. I mean, however, there's palmistry. There's Ankvidya, numerology. There's omen, study of omens, study of face reading. Study of even hand gestures. Somebody comes and asks you a question and they're doing this or they're doing this or they're doing this. There's all kinds of predictions you can make. So you tend to learn some multiple sources of things connected to the subject. So even if, let's say, you're a mathematics major, applied mathematics, you will come across so many different variations to the problems you like to solve. So many more different type of complexity in your mathematics. You will see father during this time period. If he drinks, he will drink more than usual. Okay? But one of the strongest things you have to be aware of is to guard yourself against being scammed by gurus and religious figures. Because there could be mischief that can happen. And this is usually happens when somebody tries to sway you from leaving your own religious and spiritual beliefs and adapting their beliefs. Anytime you hear this, see this, and that convincing message comes in, that's when you want to run away. Because usually Rahu in the 9th house can hypnotize a person. Rahu in the 9th house is this hypnosis energy. So a guru, mentor can come and hypnotize you, but again, sure, fine, hypnotize me. Great, I love your knowledge, hypnotize me, right? Just like, hypnotize me. So they can hypnotize you. Fine, teach me. I'm mesmerized by your knowledge. But as soon as that person tries to change something with your 9th house, which is especially the things connected with lineage and your culture and your religion, that's when that's when the antenna has to go up. That this is where my Rahu is not acting properly or in a correct way for me. Okay? Rahu will also, in Shatabishak, will take you to a pilgrimage near a body of ocean. Okay? Usually you will see many people, if there's like in India, if there's a Durga temple, Chantamasya temple, Lalita temple, Jaya temple, Jwalamukhi temple, you will visit those places if you're in India, including Bhadramukhi. Okay? So this is Rahu in the 9th house. Let's focus on Rahu in the 10th house now. So Rahu is in your 10th house in Aquarius transiting right now. And it's in the Nakshatra of Shatabishak entering from December 1st. Now obviously to really make the accurate prediction about this Rahu, okay, we have to see where your birth Rahu is, because here Rahu usually likes to expand the area of profession. But also what it does, like in Shatabishak, one can just feels confused about what am I supposed to be doing in my profession? What am I supposed to be doing in my career? Because wherever Rahu and his energy goes, a person feels confused. It's like you're mystified by that area because it's like you're looking at an eclipse and you just don't know, what is this? Why is this happening? It's just beautiful. I'm in a great company that I'm working in. Well, why am I here? A lot of question arises. But especially when Shatabishak Nakshatra happens, you will first of all see that a person begins to look at many, many opportunities around them for either changing of career, okay, completely changing the field that you're in. Otherwise, if you don't want to change your field and you don't want to be forced to change your field, begin attending all conferences related to your profession. And you will also see that in your workspace, sudden changes will happen in your policies where you're going to have to be in a group setting to do some projects. You know, when they do those cheesy corporate team playing games and all that, I don't know if they still do. They used to do it when I used to work. Oh my God, I hated it. This doesn't do anything. It doesn't improve anything because your company will only improve based on what the stars are saying, especially with the owner's own chart. So these team building stuff doesn't do nothing. But again, you will be forced in a circle to do things that are outside of your own comfort zone of circle. This is why you gotta, and especially you will find with this Rahu, you can't let other people influence you to change your principles related to your work and your business. Some people will say, come on, just do it. It's a shortcut. Why don't you just deal with this, meet with this politician? Trust me, I'm telling you, they'll give you an indication. You send the money, your thing will be done. But again, remember, it's a shortcut. Okay, shortcuts always will have hidden rocks and hidden traps. So don't change. If you have strong principles related to your work and ethics, don't let somebody else convince you that your circle of your protection that you have with your principle is wrong. Or let them just say it's wrong. You don't change. You say, yeah, great. Whatever your opinion is, your opinion is. You will also see that if you haven't used AI in your work up to this point, well, from this point onwards, certain implementations will happen in your work where they'll be like, okay, we're going to start using AI agents. We're going to start doing this. So usually you will see with the people with Rahu in the 10th house transiting in Aquarius, whether you're in a technical field or not, somehow you're going to be getting some training related to dealing with AI agents. In your workspaces or your work computer can be dealing with hacking issues. Spywares become active, hacking in your workspace will become active. Okay? But also, whatever problems you deal with in your profession and career, you tend to find 100 solution for it. But you have to go towards 100. It's not 100. It's more exaggeration. But you have to find many, many ways to solving some problem and issue before you can solve that problem and issue. Now, like I said always, that I have to look at your birth transit to make the most accurate prediction because I have to see where your Rahu is in your birth chart. Rahu is, let's say, in the 5th house. Transits the 10th house. Suddenly brings something foreign for you to learn for your work. Okay? Some education will have to be taken in your work. Rahu is in the 6th house. One will invite 100 enemies in their work, 100 competition, either on their own decision or by the force of nature. Meaning, you decided to change your work, change your companies, and now that company has more competition than you thought. Or the company forces you to be in an environment where you have to compete with other people because they want to make sure that the sales go up with all the salespeople. So you have to see where exactly is Rahu. Like your Rahu's in the 2nd house, transits the 10th house. It'll suddenly bring gains through your speech. When you talk, you make money. That's how you use. That's why they say planets in the second house are always helpful and powerful for people to make money. Because whenever they go, they will bring that energy into that house. Okay. The other things, your bosses and authorities will bring some kind of a penance or vow. Like they will bring something you'll have to stick to. Something you didn't want to do, you will feel outside of the comfort zone, but they're going to put you in a situation where you have to do it. Shatabishka is going to make you do that. Now let's look at Rahu in the 11th house in Aquarius. So now we're going to look at Rahu in the 11th house, transiting in the Nakshatra of Shatabishka. So that means you're in Aries ascendant. You're going to see, as soon as Rahu comes in, you're suddenly going to be surrounded by many people. You're going to have to deal with a large group of people. You're going to be even involved in organizing large events, whether it's work conferences, personal conferences, spiritual conferences. And the thing is, 11th house is desire, right? This is one of the things that Rahu is now trying to help you to fulfill your desires. He says, you want to fulfill your desires, gather everybody else who has the same desires as you and start working with them. And the other thing, Rahu, when it's in the 11th house in Aquarius, new friendships come about. Foreign friendships come about. People of different culture and ethnicity will come and try to help you. Why? Because remember, Shatabishka always is connected with Anuradha, which is Mitra. Mitra and Varuna have a very strong bond. And because from 11th house in Aquarius, Mitra is in the 8th house, what happens is suddenly, whatever happens here with friendships, organizations, organized event, work conferences, suddenly happens. Out of nowhere, you met a group of people that you're just left wondering, how did I even meet these people? How is it that they came in my life? Like, for example, you never wanted to go to this one place, but something made you go. At the last minute, you're like, okay, I have to go, fine. And then you're left wondering, imagine if I didn't go and didn't meet these people. Also, during this time period, a person will naturally be meeting a large group of their friend circles from the past. You will also see that a person, especially when you're in a corporate field, there's going to be certain circumstances where you're going to be asked to do something outside of your comfort zone. So you're going to have to be prepared for that. I can't say don't do it unless it is going against your own morals. You don't want to do that because you are going to come into certain people, because I don't know how your Rahu is behaving. I don't know how your birth Rahu is, because depending upon that, we can clearly see that a person will come across many people who will try to sway you to go outside your circle. Because remember, what is Shatabishka? Shatabishka is this circle and a boundary, and you must stay centered in that particular boundary. This means that your wish fulfillment and desire fulfillment may take you to certain places where people will be like, no, break these rules, do this, do that. But if it's against your moral compass and your soul internally speaks of it, walk away, because that's not the desire and that's not the way for you to fulfill that desire. You will see now, for Aries person, if they're also looking for work, you will have many 100 different opportunities. Like usually you will see that Aries people in the corporate world will attend work fair, job fairs, where what do you have? You have 50, 60 companies lined up, right? Even regardless of the economy, somebody's always getting hired, somebody's always getting fired. Like for example, Amazon laid off 50,000 people. Guess what? There is a reason behind it, but there's also a reason they're still hiring some people. It's not like there's a hiring freeze. Don't go on these social media videos and clickbaits video. You have to understand the ways of the economy and how the market works, how the stock market works, how these publicly traded companies work.
They let go and then they act, showing that there's a profit happening. You got to understand this game. Once you understand this game, you will never care for the videos that you see online. The other thing with Rahu and Aquarius and Shatabhisha Nakshatra, in order to fulfill your desires, one has to make a vow. Make a vow from December 1st. Like, let's say you would love eating ice cream and sweets. What you should do, that I will not eat my favorite ice cream or I will not eat sweets until I have gotten either a promotion or a better paying job. Once you have made that penance and you stuck with that penance, that vow that you make, this is when the manifestation of Rahu becomes from negative or neutral to positive. Because what's going to happen is, in this time of period, when you actually make a vow, Rahu's going to test you. It's going to bring you across not only your favorite ice cream, something even better than that for a limited time period that you will never be able to get again. But if you can go through that test, this is where Rahu's like, okay, I guess you passed the test. Because remember, Rahu is a planet that never got swayed by Mohini. All the other Asuras were. During the Samudra Manthan, churning of the ocean. So Rahu knows, I have the capacity to not be swayed by anything or anyone. So if you want to come into my domain, show me. Show me what you got. And the other thing with Rahu, right now you will see a lot of Aries people will gain through use of AI technology. Somebody else may not be gaining, but Aries people have the capacity to use AI in their technology. Whether you're an influencer, whether you're a stockbroker, whether you're an astrologer, anything. For you, AI will help. For you, there's going to be opportunities through that will become active. But again, what Rahu will do in the 11th house in Aquarius, too many desires become active. I want this, I want that, I want this to happen, I want that to happen. And remember, not everybody, except a few. Maybe Elon Musk can fulfill all the material desires and that's it. Right? Somebody in that status. So you want to be realistic about your desires. Too many desires will lead to failure because this is the house of Badhak. This is a Badhakesh house. Too many desires causes obstruction, including too many sudden connections and friendships. So meet people. You will meet those people that I said, karmically, could be from Persia, Greece, that you may meet, and it's that past life connection. But don't purposely try to go, when you know that. I am purposely pushing myself to meet people and just know people. No, let it naturally happen. Because that's when it doesn't become Badhak. When you force it, that's when it's going to become Badhak. Okay? So this was our Rahu in the 11th house transit in the Shatabhisha Nakshatra. Next is Rahu in the 12th house in Aquarius, Shatabhisha. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Rahu in the 12th house in Pisces in Shatabhisha Nakshatra starting December 1st. And as you see, that's the lake that you see from my cabin up there. So I'm just down here. Okay. Now, 12th house. What do you see? You see this? You see the vastness? That's the vastness. Pisces. Or I'm sorry, the original 12th house is Pisces. So here with Rahu in the 12th house in Shatabhisha Nakshatra, okay, you will see many people will begin to focus towards the vastness of their inner self. You will see many people, including an atheist. Remember, there are atheists every day that turn from atheist to spiritual to theist. This is the particular point that does that. Why? Because they begin to see the vastness of their subconscious. They begin to see that there's so much more to this limited mind that I had for my 18 years of my life, 30 years of my life, 40 years of my life. Yeah, sometimes people lifelong are atheists. But Rahu here gives the opportunity to look at 1,000 different possibilities. You will see, especially during this time of transit into Shatabhisha till middle of next year,
Pisces people will get an opportunity to go and see the stars. You will see a starry night. You will go to a place, you will visit a place that is filled with stars. Because naturally, Shatabishak is a group of 100 stars. The other thing you will see, especially, and Pisces is the individual, hardly you will find that might be an atheist. Okay? But here you will see that Pisces will attend many spiritual conferences. Here, Pisces people will go to journeys far away where they can feel like they're part of a clan, they're part of a group. Many Pisces people will, including, make a penance or a vow towards their spiritual progress in life. And it's so crazy that I did a reading today of D20, Vim Samsa reading, where Rahu is transiting the 12th house and their spiritual life have been disturbed. And I'm like, wait till December 1st onwards when Rahu enters Shatabishak. This is where you're going to find 100 opportunities to improve your path to your divinity, to path to your spiritual progress. On the other hand, extreme amount of vivid dreams will become active for Pisces people. You will see, you'll feel like you're in a completely different space, completely different world, where you're dealing with some people. Expenses connected to technology will also be there. You will see many Pisces people, first of all, will invest big. They will take big risks, like on crypto and stocks. But the expenditure will take place towards technology, Wi-Fi technology, your communication device, which is pretty much working on Wi-Fi. Okay. Expense of foreign trips will happen, especially many Pisces, or those who will make this decision will probably be Pisces ascendant who want to go for world travels. Why? Because Rahu is in Shatabishak. That means a person will go to a place where they can visit 10, 15 places, meaning most people will probably go to Europe, where you can visit all the countries within 2-3 weeks. So what are you doing? You're not dealing with one particular place of visit. You're going to visit many, many different things when you are going to a foreign place. Okay? The other thing you need to be careful of, though, if especially you have Rahu in your 6th or 8th house, do not be tempted by some investment opportunity that sounds extremely good. Because if it's too good to be true, it probably is, because you are going to be tested in that area. You're going to be getting many opportunities to where you will invest and make it big, but be careful of that. So yeah, you're going to have to be very careful. This is why only when I see a chart and I'm doing a transit reading that I can see that, okay, this opportunity that is going to come to you is actually going to be legit. Now, one thing that can happen, if let's say Rahu is in your original 8th house and then goes and is transiting in the 12th house, sudden opportunity comes in for an investment. Sudden opportunity comes in to donate something. And yes, sudden expenses come in. And they come from 100 different places. 100 different expenses happen. So one thing you should do when Rahu is entering in this, if you don't invest, begin to invest small amount. Begin to donate small amount. Begin to spend more money than what you usually would. So this way, you are no longer dealing with that sudden expense, that big expense that can come in, or many expenses that come in. So if you're that person, this is especially for those people who are hoarders, who are like stingy and cheap, that they just don't want to spend. This is the time you actually need to open up your wallet a little bit and begin to spend. Because that little spending will decrease that sudden effects and that sudden shock that you get. Okay? So this was our Rahu in Shatabishak. Thank you.